Okay, guys, this is the second video for portfolio prep. So I'm actually going to start to cartoon a set out here to sort of give you a way to get started. Hopefully you're hearing me much better because I just got my new microphone. So you might be hearing the dog, you might be hearing Leo or my wife. You're going to be hearing my whole life over here. So I'll do my best. I'll do my best to sort of keep it together, because usually when I'm doing tutorial videos I end up talking to myself or cussing or something. So okay, so what I want to do is sort of set up a document much like we did in the last video, but I want to take it a step further. So let's say I have a portfolio size in my head that I want to do, but now I sort of want to lay out where would images go, where would text go on a basic project spread. So that might be pages 2 to 3 or 4 to 5, like right when you turn the page and it starts a new project that you're going to, showcase what are the possible permutations that could take. So sometimes it's good to sort of lay this out, and maybe this isn't the file that you'll be doing your actual like portfolio in, but you'll use this as like, okay, a template that you can copy into another file, and you can sort of use this as a guide as you go. Or you can do your portfolio right in here. It's totally fine, totally up to you. This is just one way to do it. So I'm going to create a new one. Let's see here, create new. Okay, now we're working. All right, I'm going to change my units to inches. So for this one, I'm going to do a 7-inch high by 10-inch wide. So we could print this on 8.5 by 11. We could trim it so we could have full bleed images. That would look fairly nice. I'm gonna keep my facing pages on, and I'll do my margins here at 1/4 inch. So that all looks good. I'm gonna hit create. Okay, so here we are, with our cover page. So if I go to pages over here, there's my first page, and now I'm just going to add 2 new pages, and I'll add 2 new pages again, just to sort of see how this thing's starting to lay out. Okay, so cover page here would be my first, say, project spread. Maybe in the actual finished portfolio, I might come to a table of contents first, but we can always add that later. So let's just say, like, once we get into the meat of portfolio, how do we lay things out? So here's what I want to do here. I want to lay out, say, half this page would be sort of a project name and some text, and then maybe 3 small images, and then 1 big bleed image. Let's just start with that, and then let's go to the next page and sort of rearrange these. Because say, for example, this first project is going to go over pages 2, 3, and 4 to 5. So maybe you need another kind of possible layout, but not breaking the rules too much. So we don't want to be all over the place. We don't want to like turn the page and look like it's somebody else's portfolio. So let's just start with breaking this up a little bit. So I'm going to introduce some new things here. So we have our 1/4 inch margin here going around both pages. So I want to split both these pages in half. I know that they're 10 inches wide each. So I want to make a guide that's right at 5 inches and then 15 inches. So what I'm going to do is click on the ruler, and I'm going to drag over and just drop it somewhere. I don't even care where it is right now. Put one there, and I'm going to put one over here. Now, before I let go of the mouse, I want to just show you something. If you stay in the gray, it goes across the whole thing. If you stay on the sheet, it just goes across the sheet. It's up to you where you want to put it. I'm just going to put it out here so it goes across the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to select the first one. I'm going to go up to properties and look right here under transform. It tells you exactly where that's positioned. I'm going to change that to 5. I'm going to grab the second one I drew, and I'm going to change that to 15. Okay. Now I've split this in half, both these pages. Now what I want to do is I want to make this actually be a 1/4 inch. So right now it's cut right in half, but I want to go 1/8 of an inch to the left and 1/8 of an inch to the right. So I'm just going to place one right there. I'm going to place one right here. I'm going to grab the one on the right, and this should be 5 plus 0.125 inch. And this one will be 5 minus 0.125 inch. I'll delete the 5 in the middle because now I have a 1/4 inch margin, 1/4 inch margin, 1/4 inch margin. Well, I will over here. So I'm going to put this one over here. So this is going to be 15.125, which I think it exactly was. I planned that. And this one I'll do 15 minus 0.125. That one in the middle. You might know of a better way to do this, but hey, I'm just riffing here. So, okay, so now I want to do 3 images here and 1 full bleed here. So what I'm going to do is just put a block of gray for the image placement, just like the template I gave you for the gallery poster. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my rectangle tool here, and I'm just going to make a rectangle full bleed, holding down my left mouse button, just making a full rectangle, right? Corner to corner. Now it looks like nothing happened, right? So it's giving me the outline of the rectangle. There's nothing going on. If you look in properties here, it says fill is nothing. It has a stroke around it of 1 point, which is not really what I want. So let me just show you a quick way to sort of mess with that. So I'm going to deselect it. I'm going to just select it again. So I'm on my black mouse button up here. Really good tool to always be on, black mouse button. I'm going to grab that rectangle and I'm going to go over here. I'm going to hit this little arrow to swap the outline of the shape to the fill. Now, if you look over here, it says the fill's black. Right over here, it says the same thing, fill's black. So I could double click on any one of these and change it to a different color. Let's see if I can. Maybe I can just pick one in here, maybe something brighter. Another way is I could have double clicked here and clicked L, and then I can sort of find like a gray tone I like. So there. Now I'm going to hit W. Okay, right? So now, okay, that gray, that's going to be a full image. Okay, that looks good. Hit W, I'm back out of there. I might want to pull this up and out like that. Now, if you hit W, it's going to cut it off perfectly, but you might cut off some of your image you want. So just something to keep in mind that you can bleed those over. Okay, I got that image. Now let's add 3 here. So now this is going to take a little bit of trickery. So I'm going to just show you how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and make a rectangle. I don't care what size it is, nothing like that. I'm going to click the black mouse button here and click in space. And I'm going to grab my eyedropper tool right here. I'm going to click this shape and I'm going to click this frame. There, so now I made this one the same as that. Hit W, I can see that they're the same. Same color, but not the same size. Okay, so I got one there. Now I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to hold down Alt to copy. So I'm going to hold down Alt and drag down, but if I hold down Shift as well, it'll go straight down. Now I'm going to bring it down some distance, maybe like right there. Now I'm going to hold down Alt again on this one, hold down Shift and click and drag it down. Now look at those little guides there. It's saying, hey, if you leave it right here, it's going to be the same gap. Perfect. I'll let go of my mouse. I got 3 shapes here, equally spaced. Now I want them to fill this area and still stay equally spaced, so I'm going to select them all. I'm going to move it up to the top, And now I'm going to hold down Shift and Control and grab the bottom and just drag down. Okay, right till it hits that line right there. Okay, we're close. Now I can grab the edges, do that, and I can do that. Okay, I'm gonna hit W. That looks pretty good. And this shape is actually almost the same as this. I would say maybe it's a little wider, but it's not bad. But let's say you wanted it even closer. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to move this up to about there. I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to select this one again, hold down Alt, bring it down. I get those marks again. And now I'm going to select them all. Do the same thing. Shift Control. And I'm going to grab the bottom one. Now, if I grab the corner, I could do that too. Okay. But now I just got to make it smaller. That's Leo. Okay. So I hit W. Now that looks pretty good. Now I could say like, oh, okay, so I'm going to maybe do a project name here and then project text here. Okay, so now we just placed some shapes and now we're going to go into text. So let's see what we can do here. So I'm just going to make a text box. I'm just going to make it in the wrong position and I'm going to write portfolio project number 1. Okay. So there's this one now. Okay, now something to keep in mind. Let me just refresh your memory a little bit about InDesign. If I click this is a text box, right? If I click that, I can't adjust the text yet, but I can adjust the frame of it and I can sort of move it around and do something weird like that. Now, if I want to adjust the text, I want to double click in there and highlight that text. Okay, let me just show you that again. I'm going to select the text box, double click, highlight. Now it's set to Minion Pro. Let's try this one. Franklin Gothic Heavy. I'll do regular and I'll do 30. Okay. I'm going to put that up in the corner and I'm going to make this text box be the same width, say, as this image. Okay, you got a couple options here. Like that might be fine right where it is. Okay, I'm going to hit W and just kind of say, okay, yeah, that might be cool. And then I could have some text underneath. Okay, a couple things you could do. Now, let's say that looks good to me. I'm just going to push this up there. Another cool command is, what is it? Shift Command C. It'll shrink the text box frame to whatever's in there. So if I had it this big, Control Alt C. Sorry, Control Alt C. Okay, so now I'm going to copy this same text box down, same way I did this. I'm going to click it, hold down Alt and Shift. I'm going to just drag it down maybe to here. Now I'm going to make this text box bigger. And I'm going to change the font in here size to, let's do 14. Regular, what does that look? Or tell you? Yeah, we'll keep it regular. And I want to fill that with text. So I don't really know what that is yet, but what you can do is I'm going to just delete that. I'm going to right click and do insert, fill with placeholder text. It's all weird and like Latin, but now that looks like it, like maybe you won't fill it up that much. Maybe you fill it up this much. I'll just delete some of those and hit W. Now that's looking okay. Like maybe this looks a little big. I might change this to 12. That looks better. And maybe you don't like how this text like is all weird and wonky. Now you have a couple options there. I'm going to select all that text again. And let's see, where am I looking? character style? No. Okay, yeah. There it is. So it was kind of hidden underneath here. What was hidden here? Paragraph is really what we want. So I want to do something like this guy right here. See how it kind of fills out that whole thing? And then I want to uncheck hyphenate right there. So that might look a little better, might look a little more pro. Now, if you don't see paragraph over here, you could go up to window. Is it in here? Let's see. Should be over here in properties. Once you select text, you should see it. You might need to pull this slider down too. That might be helpful. But that's definitely what we were looking for. Just some different ways to kind of mess with the text. Now, this might not be the right font, but that looks like a pretty darn decent spread for the first project. Now, let's just say on my next thing, I actually need 1, 2, 3, 4 pages for this project. I can't repeat this page again because I've already introduced it. So what else could I do? Let's think of another permutation, right? So if I hit W, I could definitely, I'm going to copy this shape. I'm going to do Control C. I'm going to click into these pages and I'm going to right click and say paste in place. It'll go right to the same spot, or I can maybe move it over here and say, oh, on the next one, I'm going to do a full spread here. Likewise, I'm going to grab these two guides. I'm going to copy those and I'm going to paste in place over here. So just to show you that again, right click, paste in place. And now I can maybe, I'm going to grab one of these small shapes. Actually, I'm going to grab these 3. 2, 3. I'm going to do Control C, Control V. It's not positioned correctly, but maybe I'll move it over there on that side. And then maybe I'm going to just move another one of these over and do something like that. So there, that could be my W. That could be one project spread. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 images. Now you might be like, I don't have 9 images. Are you insane? No one has 9 images. And I hate you for even suggesting that. What you could do is say, maybe this is your hero shot, and these are 3 close-ups of this same view. Then we have another hero shot, and these are 4 close-ups of that. So there's different ways to play around with it. Or maybe these 3 go away and it's just a simple little floor plan here and another floor plan here. So the 3 images goes away. So it's kind of line drawing, big image, medium image, line drawing. Different ways to do it. Now I can make more spreads here and show different permutations where I have one where it's 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I have, 4 medium images there. So this would be like, okay, that now this gives me my roadmap. So now I just got to plug and play. I got to go find my images, ones I've made, or make new ones and fill them in. Write a little blurb here, and then boom, that project's done. So hopefully this gives you a good idea. Now, before I close out of here, I want to go ahead and save this. Okay, I'm going to do save as. Now I'm going to go to the desktop here. I made a little portfolio folder, and I'll just call this Portfolio VO1. Okay, and I'm going to hit enter. Okay, so now I don't have any images in here. I have nothing, none of my work in here yet. All I have is shapes in here. Shapes and guides. That's it. So I have nothing linking yet. Okay, so I don't, this InDesign file isn't looking on my computer looking for images or anything like that, because I haven't placed them yet. So everything's fine right now. I can just save it, close out of this. I can come back later and work on it again, which we'll do. So that's what I'll do in the next video. Now, when I start placing images and artwork in here, that's where things get a little tricky. Okay. So hopefully this will help you get started. Notice we haven't done anything with the cover yet. That's fine. That can hold off. Let's wait and see how we handle this. I mean, this is a really nice layout to begin with. And then I can just copy this stuff here, Control C, and make 2 more pages. I'll go to my last page here and make 2 more pages. Click on this page, right click, paste in place. Now I'm going to move on to project number 2. Okay. And so on. And I might do a different permutation. Now remember, these are just shapes. We'll replace those with, that was a little loud, sorry. We'll replace those with images later. Okay. 2 ways to do that, but we'll talk about that in the next video. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful, and I hope this is helping you guys get started, and everyone's happy. Okay. Stop it here.